What's up, Sparkman family? It's your boy Sparkman, and today we're going over our purchase of the Blackwing Dragon Ghost for Moderate Play First Edition from Shining Darkness. It's actually another one of negotiations with Sparkman. I've been enjoying actually doing this type of video where I get to give you a bit of insight on, how I bought my card, the way I did it, and give you guys a better understanding on how you can better negotiate for a card in the future as well. So this is a card I actually bought, but before I get to that, I'm going to tell you a little bit how I got there. So first, I saw a deal on Macari, and I was like, oh my goodness, that looks pretty enticing. So at first it was around 135 for the moderate play Blackwing Dragon, and I was like, okay, let me look on TCG Player how much this actually goes for, because it was a first edition. I was like, wow. So it actually, pretty much goes for 150, which $15 isn't that big of a difference. So I was like, okay, maybe I could work with the seller. Maybe he'll drop it down to maybe 100. So after speaking with the seller, we got it down to maybe like 120 or so, and I was like, you know what, I want to come down just a little bit more if we could, but he ended up not wanting to do that. So we ended up he ended up actually taking off the whole entire listing that he had up, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I was like, okay, now I'm really interested in this card. So I looked at other cards for mod play version because it is first edition, so a near mint would cost you God knows how much. So looking at light play to mod play, why not? As long as the mod play isn't that too bad, right? So I looked at this and we saw here 150, and as we scroll down, you see 150, 153, so that is about average. This $99 one is an Italian version, so always be aware of that. It's not English, so always be on the lookout for those things. And as we go to eBay, because that is one of the main platforms we buy from. It's eBay, Mercari, and Instagram, and of course TCG Player. But TCG Player is usually, not really negotiating. It's more of just seeing what is the ceiling, or in what is like kind of like market price for this card, and how can we kind of go about going down from there. So as we go through eBay, we see 140, and I didn't really like how this card looked because it is a binder copy, and I do want the front to look at least decently nice, where you can't really see stuff like this corner, right? This corner is a little bad. So as we go to this picture, we're seeing, a little bit of, edge wear here and there. You see that corner being not too great, and then of course you have this mark right here as well. So there is other things on this card that makes it not the best. And there's probably some light scratching on here, to be honest with you, if I had to guess as well. So we move on to the next card, and the next card I see on eBay for moderate play, it doesn't even have any pictures. So right off the bat, I'm like, that's gonna be a hard pass. Even if I talk to this person, I'm kind of not trusting you know, the feel of how it looks on this card. And no offense to the seller, it looks like he's done a bunch of sales, and congrats to that person. But I like to see a bunch of pictures when I'm purchasing something. And yeah, you can go ahead and ask, but sometimes it kind of gets too much, to a point where I know this person most likely not gonna kind of go down too much on this card as well. So at least with the price we're looking at. So we move on from there, and we go to Macari, because on Instagram we had no luck. I talked to people on Instagram, I'd see if they had it. No one had it. I posted on my story, see if anybody had it, to reach out to me. No one did. And you know what? So I was like, okay, so eBay, Macari, let's do it. So Macari, we're looking at here, and we're seeing, okay, there's a first edition copy, and this one looks pretty near mint actually, so it doesn't look that bad. But at the same time, it's actually in a case, so you're not really getting to see, really the whole entirety of it. So you're kind of getting like not the best version of it. And I reached out to this person, and unfortunately, I didn't really get that much feedback from this person. So I said, you know what, I'll probably just pass on this for now, because I would love to probably get this for a better price, but not getting a lot of pictures here. Besides, in its case, it doesn't give me a good visual. And again, 250 is not bad for first edition Blackwing Dragon. That looks pretty decently well. So for those that actually do want it, there you go. You got a inside scoop on a card right here. So but yeah, so then we go to here. We look at this copy here, but this is unlimited. We were looking at a first edition copy before, Now this copy looks pretty okay. It actually looks pretty clean, but again, it's in a top loader, so you're not really getting to see the whole aspect of the card. You're seeing it in its top loader. So again, it's not really what we're looking for. And I would reach out to this person, but again, we were looking at a first edition, so I didn't really care about the unlimited edition at this point. As we move on, we look at this one here, and this one actually got sold for $90, and it was an unlimited edition. It looked pretty good for the most part, from what I can tell. Um, let's see, is there something here? Maybe, I don't know. I don't really see anything there, so I'm not sure why he's showing off that corner. Oh no, maybe he's just showing off everything. Oh, it looks like it has some scratches here and there. So yeah, some minimal scratches, which isn't that bad, right? But $9 is actually not, not terrible, but again, not what we're looking for because we're looking for a first edition copy. Now this one is heavily played and damaged. Now I was looking at this copy and I was like, that's not too terrible. I mean, it's just this one bend here, probably some light scratches on here, and probably on the Ghost Ray itself has some light scratches, which actually we can see right here for this picture. It does have some light scratches. So I don't know if I would. I mean, I guess this is kind of like heavy played, but kind of bordering it as well. But there is like a huge bend, so I guess it is kind of heavily played. So as we move on, though, we actually get to the card that we did purchase here. So this is what we purchased. Insane, right? So you're getting to see both cards we got for $70. Now, I'll tell you how we got to this point. So remember I told you he took it off, Makari, the listing was taken off. He actually put it back on around Thanksgiving time, and I reached out to him again, and I said, hey man, are you willing to do a deal for this? You have it for 116, which is, lower than we had originally discussed. Are you willing to do, I threw out a number. I think it was like $65, which was like ridiculous amount. Not thinking that he would ever accept it. Or it was 70. Might have been actually 70. But I remember him saying, "Yeah, it's like the holiday time, and why not?" And I was like, "Wow, oh my goodness, that's awesome. I'm actually willing to do 70." I just threw out a number, hoping for the best, and hoping for a response because again, from the last discussion we had for the other Ghost Ray we purchased, is you don't want to really undercut so much that you don't want a response back. I did the undercut because I had already spoken to this person and I was like, it's worth a shot, I guess. So I tried to reach out to him, see if he would be willing to do it. He did. And I was thoroughly surprised, honestly. I mean, he's awesome. And we had a great communication all the way through, up to when he took down the listing, and he put it back up. And we actually talk from time to time. Just discussing other things as well, to see what he has and everything available. And he's a really awesome guy, honestly. So I really do enjoy working with him and buying from him as well. Great communication, like I said. Now again, I mean. Obviously, this is a great deal because we saw on TCG Player 150 was the kind of like the cap, the ceiling of this card. And as we move through all the other sides, we saw 150, 140, right, for the mod play first edition. And as we take a look at this, it has like a little bend here, but as you get the card, it actually is not seen. Like you don't see that bend realistically on this card. Again, this isn't a stop loader, so again, you're not probably seeing the best copy of it, but we got the card here, along with the Korean Black Rose Ghost Ray as well. Now keep in mind, the Korean Black Rose Dragon was kind of like a bonus addition to this, which I was not expecting. We had just discussed really this card. The Korean Black Rose was just kind of like a bonus in reality. So we're going to see the Blackwing Dragon here. And again, it's really clean copy. And it does show it as I looked it over when I got it. Really clean copy, honestly. Otherwise, from the little bend here, really clean. So I would put it at mod play. And then we get the Black Rose Ghost Rare. I would say it's light play version. And those light play versions usually go up to like $50, $60, $70, maybe even more sometimes. So in all honesty, I felt like we got the Black Rose for free or the Blackwing for free. Either way you look at it, one or the other is free. And I'm most likely going to sell the Black Rose, just because we're looking for NA copies, and this was kind of like a addition to like an amazing deal that already was. And again, it's doing your due diligence by going on many platforms, staying in touch with people that you've talk to about a certain card, and keeping in touch and always trying to check and scour through each and every day, keeping your phone close to see what pops up. Also, patience, I said, like from the last video, is key. It's going to be something I repeat a lot from these types of videos that we do, is because if you're a collector, you have to be very patient of the things you're buying. If you're in a rush, you're not going to get a good deal. You just won't. That's just not how things work when you're buying cards. Now, if you're looking to buy cards for your deck, that's a different standpoint, right? You're looking for your deck, you're probably going to want to hurry up and buy that card. For collective purposes, you're not looking for those things. You're looking for, patience and time that will be on your side eventually, where you could cop a good deal. And that is usually what happens when you are patient. And, again, a lot of things I've bought in the past is because I was patient, I was methodical, I was strategic, and I knew what I was doing, because I knew the research and the history behind it, and I knew something would pop up eventually. Not to say that I knew this was going to pop up the way it did with the Korean Black Rose, but it did. It worked out in my favor. I had a great discussion. Again, I really undercut the market in terms of what it probably is worth, and I got lucky. Not to say that this can happen again, because it probably won't happen again if I were to do this, because again, this is kind of like a lucky instance, but at the same time, it's kind of me negotiating and having a previous discussion with this person as well. So there's all things that kind of like link to, getting a card like this for what it is, right? For Ghost Rare First Edition Blackwing Dragon. And again, just patience is key. Patience is key when dealing with stuff like this. And then again, going through each and every platform to see what you can do. And before you make that purchase, to say, okay, this is the best deal, do it one more time. Do your double check and scour through each and every platform right before you hit that purchase button, because you never know, in that instant something better does come along, because I've had it happen to me in the past. Where something actually better does come along. So always do a double check to make sure that is the best deal that you have found in the market. And again, I got really lucky with this deal. I can't say that enough. $70 from what it's really worth is beyond me. So I'm really happy about this deal. And again, going back, $150 is really what we were looking at, and we spent $70 for the mod play version along with the Black Rose, which was insane. So yeah, again, this is just some more knowledge for you out there that want to learn how to negotiate and get cards for a good deal, good price. And again, it's just to help you out for the future and giving you some inside look as to what I'm doing as well and how I'm purchasing my cards. So hope you guys are enjoying. From yours truly, Sparkman. Catch you in the next one. Please subscribe, like, comment, and peace out, YouTube.